In the previous episode, love was tested by tragedy as Ifedayo bore 3 Obiku children, spirit children who left her and Adebayo grieving time and again. Despite pressure from the royal council and the whispers of the villagers, Adebayo's love remained strong, though he was eventually compelled to marry a princess of noble blood to secure an heir. Join us as a new chapter unfolds. Months passed after Adebayo's marriage to the princess, and the weight of the royal council's expectations finally eased as the princess became pregnant. This time, the kingdom was filled with joy and anticipation, as the villagers hoped for a healthy child who would fulfill the royal lineage. When the princess gave birth, the kingdom celebrated the arrival of a baby girl. Though she was not a son, the princess's daughter brought great happiness to the royal family, as she symbolized the continuation of their line. Around the same time, Ifedayo, too, found herself pregnant once more. She carried this child with both hope and fear, unable to shake the memory of her 3 previous losses. Still, something felt different this time. A faint, unspoken assurance lingered in her heart. She nurtured herself carefully, holding on to Adebayo's love and faith as she waited for the day her child would arrive. When her son was born, he was unlike her other children. From the moment he entered the world, he displayed a strength and vibrancy that surprised both Ifedayo and the midwives who assisted her. His cries were loud and full of life, and his bright eyes seemed to hold the promise of longevity. As Ifedayo cradled her newborn, she felt her heart swell with cautious joy. Could it be that this time, fate had finally granted her a child who would stay? Adebayo, too, found renewed hope in his son. Though he cherished his daughter from the princess, he felt a deep connection to Ifedayo's child, a sense that this boy carried a piece of their shared love, forged in the fires of grief and loss. He visited Ifedayo often, marveling at the strength of their son and the bond that had carried them through such hardship. Together, they watched him grow, finding comfort in each day he remained with them. The villagers, witnessing the health and happiness of Adebayo's household, began to soften in their judgment of Ifedayo. They started to speak of her son as a gift from the gods, a child whose presence signaled a shift in the family's fortune. Some even began to credit Ifedayo's steadfast love and loyalty to Adebayo as the reason for this blessing, recognizing that her resilience had finally borne fruit. Whispers began to circulate about her apparent change in fortune. Some speculated that the arrival of the princess had brought a blessing to Adebayo's household, a balance of fates that allowed Ifedayo's child to thrive. Others, however, remained doubtful, their skepticism lingering from the previous losses. They watched Ifedayo closely, half expecting her son to follow in the footsteps of his Obiku siblings. But as the weeks turned into months, Ifedayo's son continued to grow stronger, displaying a vigor that defied the legacy of the Obiku spirits. Ifedayo devoted herself entirely to his care, nurturing him with a fierce protectiveness that only a mother who had suffered loss could understand. Every smile, every laugh, every moment he held her gaze filled her with a gratitude that words could not express. Yet, Ifedayo knew in her heart that every moment with her son was precious, and she did not take a single day for granted. She continued to pray and to honor the ancestors, quietly thanking the spirits for granting her a child who stayed. Her love for her son grew deeper with each passing day, and though she still carried the pain of her past losses, she found peace in the knowledge that this child was different. As the seasons changed, so did the villagers' hearts, and Ifedayo's reputation as a healer and mother grew. Her love, tested through trials of loss and sorrow, had at last brought her the joy she had longed for. Adebayo and Ifedayo's love remained unshaken, a beacon of resilience and hope for the entire kingdom. Thank you for joining us on this beautiful journey in episode 3. If you're as inspired by Adebayo and Ifedayo's story as we are, please like, comment, and turn on notifications to stay tuned for the next chapter in this saga.